Senator, we've been looking forward to this conversation, and we can start picking through these one at a time. Why don't we start with the beef imports, because I know that's important to you. This shipment for the shipment licenses, I should say, for hundreds of American slaughterhouses appears to have been scaled back since the original announcement. Can you give us details on what has actually been agreed on?
Well, first of all, it's important to remember it's the second largest beef export market in the world, and U.S. beef was prohibited from that market until 2018. I was over there that year negotiating with China to getting access for the first time, which we did. But then these licenses expired last March, and the Chinese did not renew them. So everything I'm hearing is it's positive, it's moving forward. I think the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing sometimes to get the final pieces done on the licenses. But when we were there last week, it was about Boeing, it was about beef, it was about beans, and sure enough, as we're starting to see, we're impacting these deals. This is real good news. It was about $2 billion of exports of U.S. beef to China before it ceased. So this will be good news here, certainly for farm and ranch country.
Well, and on Boeing, as Joe just mentioned, Senator, the president told Fox that China will be buying 200 big planes. Was it your expectation that that order would be larger than that? Because it certainly seems the market's was.
Well, I haven't seen the mix between the Maxes and the wide bodies yet, specifically, but I know China had not purchased a Boeing aircraft in 9 years. And of course, it's one of the largest commercial aviation markets in the world and one of the fastest growing. Very important we're in that market because the Chinese have their own homegrown brand of Comac, which are now commercially viable. They're flying several of those aircraft with airlines like China Southern, China Eastern. But just stepping back overall, this is good news, and I'll tell you why. Let's not forget that China and the United States are 40% of the world's economy in terms of GDP, the two largest militaries in the world. It's very important that we are de-escalating, that we're not decoupling, that we're de-risking, and bringing our two leaders together. And trade can be a wonderful way to keep the diplomatic ties open, as well as to thaw what was a pretty frosty relationship last year.
Yeah. Well, as someone who understands the nuances of our relationship and the psychology inside the government in Beijing, more than most in Washington, I'm curious what you thought of the rhetoric surrounding Taiwan today, because it raised a lot of eyebrows. Many thought Taiwan wouldn't really be a major factor in these discussions. I know the president indicated he would discuss weapon sales to Taiwan. But the foreign ministry readout says President Xi told Donald Trump behind closed doors the Taiwan question is the most important issue in China-U.S. relations. If handled properly, our relationship will enjoy overall stability. Otherwise, the two countries, he said, will have clashes and even conflicts, putting the entire relationship in great jeopardy. What is President Xi getting at here? And will the president alter the sort of ambiguity that our stand has been known for?
Well, first of all, that's not a surprise. I worked in China with Procter & Gamble. We were some of those first early expats that were based in Guangzhou back in 1992. We had two little kids when we moved over there. We had two more babies born in Hong Kong during our 6-year assignment there launching American brands. But I've been watching the Taiwan issue for a long time, and China and the United States have remained consistent in their respective positions. You go back to the Taiwan Relations Act of 1979, what President Trump was talking about today with our Foreign Minister Wang Yi and as well as Xi Jinping is just consistent with where we have been as a country, and China is holding their consistent position as well. So I'm not surprised by it. This issue came up when I met with their Foreign Minister Wang Yi last week in the Great Hall of the People. Similarly, when I met with the Premier Li Qiang, we did talk Taiwan. It's always discussed, so I'm not catching that by surprise. I'm a little surprised the media is saying it's a surprise because, frankly, it's not a surprise. It's always an issue. It's always top of mind for the Chinese, and some we always have to be prepared to stay consistent with the position we've held since 1979.
Well, obviously, Taiwan was in the Chinese readout of this Senator, it was not in the United States, the White House's readout in terms of what was discussed at these meetings, though the U.S. explicitly did mention the Strait of Hormuz. And President Trump went on in an interview on Fox to say that President Xi said he wants to help in any way he can and wants to see the strait open back up. Should we accept that help from China if offered? Do you expect it would come at a cost?
Well, I think we should accept that help. When I was in Beijing last week, meeting with Foreign Minister Wang Yi. The day before I met with Wang Yi, the Iranian foreign minister was sitting in the same chair I was sitting in a day later, talking about the issues in Iran and the conflict. And the readout from that meeting was that the Chinese want to help stabilize the situation, to de-escalate it and get the Strait of Hormuz open, get the flow of oil moving forward, getting the price of oil down, getting the price of gasoline down. That'll serve not only the United States and China, but the global economy. So they were being helpful, and I'm glad to see that President Trump and Xi Jinping continue that discussion. And everything I'm hearing, it was constructive, and we need China to help us. They do have a unique role to play as an interlocutor with the Iranian government, and we need them to be leading and helping us stop the conflict in Iran and helping us bring this to an end.
What will we hear about agriculture in our remaining moment, Senator? Will there be a deal on soybeans?
I think so. There's deals out there lingering. It's the largest soybean purchaser in the world, and our farmers, certainly in the United States, need access to that market. I'm hoping that we'd also see something in areas like wheat, barley, and chickpeas. These are all important to farm country, and farm country is struggling right now with lower prices and higher input costs.